What is up, guys? It's Brillymister here and welcome to today's video. If you do enjoy the video, then don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe, and hit all the links up down below to Twitch and Discord. Enjoy the video. What is up, everybody, and welcome to my top 5 PVM items. So before any of you comment along saying that I've missed something or there's something that you don't feel should be in here, this is my personal opinion and not a definitive list. So I'm going to only be including things that I've personally used. For example, I've never owned and used a grimoire. However, I know that that is a very good and very strong PVM item and would probably make somewhere in this list. However, as I've not personally used it, I don't feel like I can include it, as it wouldn't be my judgment of it. It would just be sort of what I've heard from the wiki or something like that. However, if you guys feel like there is anything that I have missed or want to put a top 5 of your own, don't hesitate to drop it in the comments section down below, and I'll definitely have a read through of all of them, and I'll probably see a fair few nice interesting things that I didn't even consider or cross my mind whilst making this video. Anyway, let's get into the top 5. So the first thing we come to on my top 5, or should I technically say the last thing on the list. Anyway, in 5th place is the Adrenaline Urn. So the Adrenaline Urn is pretty annoying to get unless you get very lucky. I got mine in an ED free run from a Calgarian Demon, and that is the only way it's obtainable, is from either killing Calgarian Demons as a Slayer task, or also the Calgarian Demons and the mini-boss Calgarian within Shadow Reef. The Adrenaline Urn is really good because it basically stalls your adrenaline for you, so it saves you any effort of having to stall it or anything whenever it's active, and you can just basically sit there and your adrenaline won't decrease. However, it will last only 4 minutes if you don't do any stalling at all from full charge. So say you charge it up to the full 1000% with the adrenaline crystals in the PVM hub. If you then don't stall adrenaline at all, it will be completely empty and your bar will drain like it normally would after just 4 minutes. However, if you combine this with, trying to stall a bit of adrenaline every now and then, it will make it last a lot longer, and it can be used basically just as an emergency, just so your adrenaline doesn't drop. It is also, though, almost a waste of space. If you successfully adrenaline stall and can just stall using sort of freedom, anticipate, surge, preparation, that kind of thing, which you technically can do indefinitely without your adrenaline stalling, it is just a waste of invent space, but it is a nice convenience item to have. Coming in 4th on the list is the Ring of Vigour. Ring of Vigour is really good because it allows you to keep 10% of your adrenaline after using an ultimate ability. So after you Berserk, Sunshine or Death Swiftness, you already have 10% adrenaline. That makes it a lot more easy to get to thresholds and get more DPS within your Death Swiftness or your Berserker rotation. It is a little bit annoying having to switch to a ring just to use your ultimate ability, as it's not great to basically camp the ring, it's not got great stats or anything like that, and it's also really good to be paired with adrenaline pots. So overall, it is a very nice ring to have as a switch, but you definitely do not want to be camping it. Coming in at 3rd up on the list is Vampirism Scrimshaw. It's absolutely amazing if you're using melee. If you're using melee, it's pretty much the only Scrimshaw you want to use. It's going to save you a lot of food, and kind of as a side effect from that, keep your adrenaline higher, as you're not having to reduce your adrenaline by eating all the time. The only downside is it is a little bit costly to use. If you buy the ones from the GE, then it's just about $1 mil per hour to use, slightly over. The only downside to this is it does only work with melee, which kind of sucks. It'd be great to see them in the future bring some kind of range or mage equivalent, because if you think about the Vampirism aura, that works with range and mage, so it would be nice to see some sort of range or mage equivalent to the Vampirism Scrimshaw in the future, as it almost feels a bit unbalanced that it's just for melee. However, if you are ranging or maging, there are lots of range / mage Scrimshaws, most notably the Scrimshaw of Elements and Scrimshaw of Cruelty, both which boost your mage and range damage respectively. However, I don't think either of these are quite as good in sheer PVM standards as the Vampirism Scrimshaw, and that's why it earns itself a nice number 3 on this list. In the runner-up spot on my list is what I'm going to class as pretty much a must-own item for anyone that's starting to get seriously into PVM, anything kind of past God Wars Dungeon 2, and you're probably going to want to invest in one of these at some point. And that is, of course, the Ring of Death. It's really good for learning new bosses or anywhere where you're likely to die quite often, and especially in sort of like high-end scenarios. For example, I use it a lot at Runescape. I have a fair tendency to die to mirrorback spiders, and also when I was learning Solak and stuff like that as well. It was really great there. It saves you a lot of money long term, as it only costs about 300 to 400k worth of Onyx per death. You get like 3 or 4 deaths out of an Onyx, so it's not that expensive per death, and also your familiar doesn't die. Whereas you compare that to having a full set of like tier 90 power gear on and a tier 90 or tier 92 weapon without even including an inventory full of switches, and you can easily get over 1.2 to 1.5 mil in death cost, plus maybe another 200k for a Nihil or a Ripper Demon. So it's going to save you a ton of money in the long term. However, if you're camping this ring for bossing, it means you have to switch for other rings. So you might have to switch to a Vigor, or if you're doing something like Nex or something like that, you'll have to swap to your Luck of the Dwarves at the end. It's not so much of a problem at places like Araxor, where you can just like click the Luck of the Dwarves before you actually loot the chest, but when you're at Nex and something like that, it's a little bit annoying that you have to switch when it's at low hit points just before you get the kill. The other downside to it is it does only actually help if you die. You get no benefit from it if you don't die, but you know, if you're someone like me that dies frequently, it's definitely a must-have item. Now on to first place and my overall favourite item for PVMing, and that is the Berserker auras. So by that I mean all 3 of them, the Berserker aura, the Reckless aura and Maniacal aura. They are absolutely amazing for almost all PVM situations. They give you such a good boost in damage by the fact that they give 10% accuracy and 10% DPS, so that's like nearly 20% damage if you're not 100% accurate already. And even if you are already 100% accurate, you wouldn't get a boost from say like the Brawler auras or anything like that. However, you still get a massive flat 10% damage bonus from this, which is absolutely awesome, and it speeds up your kill times so much. The decrease in defense is almost always irrelevant. I mean, if you're like a base tank somewhere, you're probably not going to want to use this. You might want to use some other kind of aura. But for any sort of real bossing where DPS is going to help, like Araxor, Nex, that sort of thing, the fact that you're going to be killing it so much faster can almost always mean you actually use less food rather than more, which, if you think about it, sounds a bit counterintuitive, but the fact that you're going to take a large chunk of time off your kill, it's absolutely a massive boost, and it's definitely something that everybody should get. It's also really easy to obtain. I mean, all you got to do is get 25,000 marks of war, which if you max out at the 1,000 every hour, which you can quite easily do if you're doing like God Wars Dungeon 2 or something like that, then it's going to take you like 25 hours of just any PVM to earn each one, so 75 hours in total, which really isn't that long, considering it's not something you have to grind out really. It's just you will obtain it whilst PVMing if you don't already have it. The only real negatives that I can say for this is that it doesn't last very long. It's only got 30 minutes on it. You can extend this to an hour with 40 Viswax, but Viswax is pretty pricey at the moment. It's about 17k each I've been paying lately for it, which you don't want to burn through it too quickly because it does start to add up, but then you're going to be making enough money because you're PVMing anyway. Also, combined with the fact that it does only standardly last 30 minutes, it does have a very long cooldown of 5 hours, which is a long time to wait between reactivating it. You can reset this again using Marks of War. I mean, they normally stack up. I've got tons and tons of them stacked up, so I just buy the tier 3 resets. I think they're like 2.5k Marks of War, and you can then just reset it. So you can use it over and over again, but it just burns through your Marks of War. But the standard cooldown is quite long on this. This is definitely an item that if you guys don't already have it, you should probably look to obtaining the auras. I mean, it's up to you to choose which one you get first. It depends on whether you use mage, range or melee the most, but definitely look to get all 3 of them over time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you did enjoy my top 5 here. If you did enjoy it, let us know what your top 5 sort of PVM items are in the comments down below. I'm really intrigued to see whether we've gone for fairly similar things or if you guys have gone for completely different stuff. But anyways, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so you can be notified of all my future content. There's also links to my Twitch and my Discord server in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, see ya.